Inside Oceanside, your monthly magazine about the people, issues, and events in Oceanside.
Hello, welcome to the August 2002 edition of Inside Oceanside, your monthly community news magazine. I'm Don Williamson.
And I'm Amy Forsythe. Here at Inside Oceanside, we feature the people, places, issues, and events that are shaping our community.
That's right, and it's August in Oceanside, and everything is shaped by the heat. That's why we're inside this month. But we do have some great news we're going to share with you in just a little while.
But first, let's tell you what we've got lined up for this month's Inside Oceanside.
On this edition of Inside Oceanside, we'll look at Oceanside's rich surfing history.
We'll go behind the scenes at the Oceanside Police Department's Criminal Investigation Division.
We'll talk to the artist who created a major downtown mural.
And we'll see how well the second annual Arts Live Banner Project went.
All that and more on this edition of Inside Oceanside.
Well, it's summer, and that means putting a little time in at the beach. So, Dawn, is this the summer that you're going to take up surfing?
Well, Amy, I'm not sure about that, but I do know that Tom Sheridan has put together a great piece about the rich surfing history right here in Oceanside, and here it is.
Surfing first appeared in Polynesia around the time the Greeks like Plato and Socrates were establishing the early tenets of philosophy and science. It moved to Hawaii about 400 years ago and showed up on the shores of California late in the 19th century. Today, here in Oceanside, it is a significant part of this community's lifestyle and economy. Drive around Oceanside and it's hard to miss surfing's influence. The signs are everywhere. According to the city's redevelopment department, 10 surfboard manufacturers and 4 shops that retail surfboards call the city home. But everywhere you turn, there are businesses, shops, stores, restaurants that cater to a surfing clientele. For some perspective on the growth of the surfing industry, we went to Rich Watkins, administrator of the California Surf Museum here in Oceanside.
Well, if you were talking about it back in the 60s, it was part of the economy. It wasn't huge. And then in the 70s, surfboard making and surf apparel and things like that were kind of mainstream, but not a big thing. I don't think until the late 80s and into the resurgence of the modern longboard, with baby boomers like myself taking their sons and daughters out to surf, did it really hit a high point. And in fact, today, a lot of these larger surf manufacturers and surf shops are millionaires. They won't tell you that, but they are. They're not fooling anybody.
The beaches and businesses beckon surfers from near and far. We're here on the streets of Oceanside, and believe it or not, we ran down a couple of surfers. John Severino, Mike Harris, a couple guys up from San Diego. Mike, what do you like about surfing in Oceanside, man?
You know what, you can almost always find some place up here to surf, and the people are glad to just see you out there. You don't have to worry about any other hassles. They're just happy to see you on the water with them.
Beach Break Cafe owner Gary Dwelly was talking about his restaurant, but he could have been talking about the city.
You know what, I think everybody appreciates what we offer here because we offer a friendly atmosphere with good service, and it was kind of like this guy that came in the restaurant one time, and he is probably about a 20-year-old kid, a surfer, and he comes in and he goes, you know something, this place has soul. God, it made me feel good that he said that. I like that atmosphere.
From surfing Soul City, this is Tom Sheridan reporting for Inside Oceanside.
We want to give a special congratulations to Reggie Grigsby. He's been promoted from lieutenant to captain in the Oceanside Police Department. And as you know, he works in the Criminal Investigations Division.
In our next story, Catherine Kalanko takes us behind the scenes at that division and tells us what makes it so special.
I'm Reginald Grigsby. I'm a lieutenant. I'm the manager of the Journal Investigation Section.
Oceanside police detectives are responsible for solving crime in their city. The Investigations Division is made up of 3 main units: property crimes, family protection, and crimes of violence.
Crimes of violence deals primarily with crimes against the person. These are usually going to be your felonious assaults. There will be homicides, and there will be some sexual assault cases involving minors and adults.
I receive criminal cases for follow-up investigation, and as part of doing the follow-up investigation, I typically go out and interview victims and witnesses, attempt to locate suspects, attempt to track down suspect vehicles, collect any additional evidence that may have not been collected at the time of the original report, and ultimately, hopefully, make an arrest on that criminal case, and then the case is sent to the district attorney's office for filing.
We have to demonstrate to the court that we have the right person and that they committed the crimes we said they committed. And then the judge hears kind of a skeleton or a thumbnail sketch of the evidence and determines whether or not to let us go to trial.
Detectives serve search warrants to look for evidence in a crime. It's not uncommon for police to serve the warrants in early morning hours with extra officers for backup in case a situation turns violent. Art Coleman is currently assigned to the Family Protection Unit. He often interviews victims of domestic violence. Coleman is an investigative assistant and a retired detective with 32 years of law enforcement experience.
I try to explain to them that basically no one has the right to hurt another person under any circumstances, especially someone that professes that they care or love them. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. Sometimes I'll go as far as to try to impress upon them this is not something that is minor, as many will try to, oh, it's just a minor argument, oh, we're just going through some problems.
Michelle Morgans is in charge of the Oceanside Police Crime Scene Van, a mobile evidence collection unit that responds to all major crime scenes.
When we arrive at the crime scene, what happens is the patrol officers wait for us. They'll tape it off with the yellow crime scene tape, and they'll wait for the Investigations Division to arrive. Part of my responsibility is to take overall photographs of the scene, a lot of them, so that every perspective, if somebody says, well, I was standing in the corner on the left side, we have photographs from those perspectives, and the evidence are usually seen in those photographs. If we get to a crime scene and we see that there's a substance sprayed on the wall and we don't know what it is, we can do presumptive tests to determine whether it could be blood. But usually what we'll do is a presumptive test, and then we'll also take a blood swab.
Next to DNA, a fingerprint is the most significant method for identifying a suspect. Each fingerprint is unique.
When the report comes to investigations and I see that there have been fingerprints lifted from the crime scene, then I will go out to evidence, pick those fingerprints up, check them out, and bring them back here to the office, evaluate them, see if there's enough minutia points, enough points of identification to the fingerprint that I can use it to put it into this Cal ID system. Cal ID is the California Identification System. It's a computerized database of all of the known fingerprints of people that have been arrested in the state of California.
This was a murder case that occurred back in September of 2000. It involved The victim was an employee of the Wild Animal Park, and the perpetrator who murdered her was also an employee of the Wild Animal Park. And we actually worked this case jointly with the Sheriff's Department because we were unsure where the crime ultimately occurred. Ultimately, we believe that it did occur in the city of Oceanside. Her body's never been recovered. But in that case, we served multiple search warrants, not only on the suspect's residence, we also put together search warrants for the suspect's family's residence because we had information in the case that the suspect had at one time thought about burying the victim in a relative's backyard. And based on that information and then other information that we developed during the case, we obtained a search warrant not only for a home in Escondido, but also for a home in Menifee, California, in Riverside County.
In the Wild Animal Park case, the suspect pled guilty before trial. He was sentenced to 15 years to life. The Oceanside Police Department recently promoted Grigsby to captain. This is Catherine Kolanko for Inside Oceanside.
You remember last month, we were at the Taste of Oceanside, which, by the way, was a great event, huh, Amy?
Oh, it was a good time for everyone, lots of great food.
That's right. We all ate too much, especially Amy. But if you remember, we showed you a mural that's going to grace downtown Oceanside for years to come. We've had a couple of producers that have done a great job to show you just how that came together. Who did it?
That was Karina Hathaway, who's a newcomer to Inside Oceanside. We'd like to welcome her. And Courtney Richards, who's been with Inside Oceanside for a couple years now.
That's right, not for a short time. And here it is.
The Oceanside City Council is painting the town red, and green, and yellow, but mostly blue. It's all part of a process to beautify the downtown area, and they've commissioned 2 local artists to paint a mural in an alley desperately in need of a facelift.
This building was pretty ugly when we saw it, and it definitely needed something to make it not an eyesore for the downtown area. They're spending a lot of money on redoing the alleyway, and they're going to be putting in shrubs and redoing this with stairs and changing the light bulbs out and moving the trash dumpster. So this is going to look really nice when it's done, and it was definitely needed.
This mural is just the first step in an ongoing plan to fix up the alley behind the Sunshine Brooks Theater. But first, the City Council had to find an artist who could tackle such an enormous project.
We heard about this project when the City Council put out a notice for artists to submit a rendering, and they wanted to show the best side of Oceanside, to promote Oceanside, because they were doing a upgrade of the downtown area. So we came up with the postcard idea because we could utilize the 3 flat areas up above, and the ocean and sand kind of at a distance hides all the pipes and doors and electrical boxes on the building. We decided on the village, the Mission San Luis Rey, and the pier, and then surfers and the oceans in the background.
I went to the City Council meeting and watched how it was voted on, and there was, I think there were 5 different ones that they put up on a screen, and the City Council members suggested that they liked ours because it was, it looked like Oceanside. It reminded them of Oceanside, and the colors were very bright and brilliant.
It'll take these superwomen 20 gallons of paint and 4 weeks of work to complete the mural, which can be seen from as far away as the pier.
This has been a pretty big mural to tackle. It's 100 feet long and 27 feet high. The highest mural I worked on was 60 feet high by 40 feet wide. So this is nice because we're not that high up, but we do have to deal with weather that we're outside. We have sunny days, cloudy days. We even had a day of misting, but we just kept on painting.
But their hard work is paying off as they've been getting positive responses from the public regarding this newest addition to downtown Oceanside.
It's awesome. It's very beautiful. It's good for the area, good for downtown Oceanside.
A lot of the people are coming around talking to us, the business owners, and it's like now they all want a facelift, and they just say how happy they are with this whole project.
I think it's incredible. I think it's a big boost for the community. I think all that they're doing up and down the street, just trying to bring the level of the quality of the people, how people appreciate downtown Oceanside. It's just come a long way. And this mural is like one of the first steps.
We were here Memorial Weekend and it was very packed, and we got a positive response from the tourists, the military. We've gotten to know the meter maids really good. There are worst art critics. They're a lot of fun, and everybody's been really positive and excited about having this done and upgrading the area.
This has been Karina Hathaway reporting for Inside Oceanside.
Well, that new mural downtown is sure eye-catching, and if you haven't seen it already, you might want to take a peek. It's located just 1 block west of Coast Highway,
on the back of the Sunshine Brooks Theater.
And in keeping with the arts theme in this program, there's some banners waving in downtown Oceanside, some great flags.
That's right. It's the second year of the Arts Alive banner program. Area artists paint gorgeous pictures and they hang in downtown Oceanside, and then they're auctioned off to the highest bidder. Mirna Alfonso tells us a little bit more about that program.
Wilson, here's looking at you. Okay, what do you get on that one? How much? How many dollars here? $250, $275, $300, $3 1/4. $325, $325,
A lively auction closed out this year's Arts Alive banner program, raising $5,100 for Main Street Oceanside and the artists involved. Local artists in San Diego County submitted 39 banners for the second annual Arts Alive project. Before the auction, the banners hung for 2 months in downtown Oceanside, there for the public to peruse, enjoy, and pick the art they wanted. Swaying in the breeze and shining in the sunlight as people drove by, the banners were beautiful and added much color to Oceanside's downtown.
Oh, it's a really nice thing for Main Street because it gives us an opportunity to interact with the artists in the downtown area and display their works for a couple of months on the streets of downtown. And this is all just extra at the end of it, really, to go ahead and auction them off and make a little money for the artists and for Main Street. It's a wonderful event.
According to organizers of the event, the hanging banners beautified the area and provided a great venue for the artists involved.
I think Coast Highway is as good a venue as anywhere because I think art belongs in all parts of our lives. And so I'm very happy to see the banners in Oceanside. It was great to drive all the way from Solana Beach through to Oceanside and see this Arts Alive program in the coastal cities. I would love to see art in the public view in as many places as possible, and that includes along the highway. My painting is of a woman walking on the beach with the view to the pier in Oceanside. And the pier had some special significance because when my children were little, my husband would bring them up on the weekends to fish from the pier. So it was easy for me to choose that scene in Oceanside.
It's fun for the artist. It's fun to do that and go and see it. And I don't know how much people see it. I don't have. Last year it started and it was a lot of fun.
Art lovers spent quite a bit of money in order to buy the pieces they liked, plus to support Main Street Oceanside and, of course, the local artists. This includes John Daly, who serves as the chairman of the Main Street Oceanside Board of Directors and is also the city's unofficial historian. Always the buff, Daly had history on his mind at the auction.
I bought Robert's Cottages because it's an icon in Oceanside. It's been there since 1928. Everybody knows what the Pink's cottages are in that area. And if you happen to own one, like my sister and her husband, it makes it even so more important to probably own that piece. Oh, it was a deal. It's a great piece. I think $500 was cheap for it.
This is Mirna Alfonso for Inside Oceanside.
That about does it for this edition of Inside Oceanside. But we couldn't leave without letting you know that KOCT has won 4 National Hometown Video Festival Awards, and Inside Oceanside has won one of those national awards.
Congratulations, Dawn.
And to you too, and to everybody that has anything to do with this program. You all do a great job, and we appreciate it so much. And that's why we're already busy working on next month's show.
So if you have any comments, questions, or story ideas, please contact us at the numbers on your screen.
That's right. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time, remember, it's great to be Inside Oceanside. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
David, good, 150, David, 150, David,